seeing it? Am I recording? I think I am. Yes. So this is a new tool. So let me give you some basic ideas, because what we have already learned so far is called the NURBS. If I type in, is it possible to type in the text? Yeah, so it's called the NURBS, or NURB. How big is it? I don't know. It's called NURB. Non-uniform, I forgot the B, anyway. So what we learned is this defined by mathematics. You realize you draw a bow that you would define the center and you define the radius. So that's all by mathematics. So now today we're going to learn something called the SubD, which is a different. You can see, you know, if I draw a SubD, you know, I'm drawing something, you know, the same tool comes back again. You know, I will make a cone, you know. So what's the difference between NURBS and SubD? NURBS is totally mathematical. So so if I go back to my standard toolbar, I will, where is my standard toolbar? So here, so this is a NURB, and so you can check on the detail. This is called the extrusion as a NURB. And then this is a SubD. If you go and check, it's called the SubD. So SubD is, in the old days, there's another tool called the mesh, which I mean, it's still in there, but I'm not going to teach you this tool, because mesh is basically define everything by little surfaces. So if you zoom in, this is not mathematically defined, not like, you know, this thing is actually defined by little surfaces. So the more surface you have, the more smooth you will get, you know. But if you explode this thing, it will become all little surfaces. That's why it's called the mesh. Yeah. So there's no logic or mathematics. It's just little surfaces. So the SubD is something in between. So you don't need to be worried about, you know, what is exactly the meaning. What this SubD does is it will allow you to create something like a free form very quickly, just dragging, you know, because remember when we do the NURBS or we design something, okay, we have quite a bit trouble. You know, we have to use control point, we have to rebuild, and then, you know, let's say here is a surface. Where is my tool? Okay. So we have to rebuild the surface. Okay, but this is a box we needed to explode, and you know, all of this, whatever you so far learned is all NURBS. Yeah, so you can forget about the name, but you just know that you learned a set of two that's different than what I'm going to teach you today. But this is somehow a bit rigid in a way, but also precise. So I can select all of them, you know, I will drag them up. You know, this is a very precise, but this new tool is almost like a piece of clay. You know, it's not very precise, but it's very flexible. So, so that's the basic definition of this. And in terms of the mesh, I'm just not going to teach you. I think, you know, the mesh is actually, you cannot explode the mesh. See, you can explode, you see the little surfaces are jaggy, but you cannot really explode. But maybe you can convert mesh to, so there's three different type of a Rhino model. The NURBS that we have already learned, okay. And then SubD, I'm going to teach you today. And the mesh, I'm not going to teach you, because I think they're, you know, so if we know SubD very well, we can pretty much forget about the mesh, because SubD is a new tool that's introduced in Rhino 7. Yeah. So, you know, when I start to learn Rhino, I learned the Rhino 4. So Rhino is not a very fast developing tool. So every 2 or 3 years, not like every year they come out with a new version. So I don't know if you see my video that I look much younger. My voice is still the same. So it's a long time ago. So SubD is a new tool. So I'm going to show you the SubD. Okay. Oh, okay. I forgot about the surface. Yeah. So don't get confused. So let's go to a, so we actually, we're going to use a totally different set of toolbar basically. And then do not confuse this one with the old one, you know, they are the same. Here's a cone, you know, here is this, you know, this is the NURB. Okay, now we go to this toolbar. And then we have all these tools in there. You know, this is our cone. And realize they look different. This cone looks like a round shape. Yeah, this is what we used to do. And this is a round shape. And then there's some kind of a tool is called the toggle, which will shift the, will actually display this tool with display this SubD in a different format. They're not the same, they're not a different model, they're just in different format. That's all I can tell you is just a 2 different display. Okay, so that's this one. So what are we going to do with this one? Let's say, I'm going to create a SubD surface. And then, oh, okay, so here is a SubD surface. If I look at how it looks like, because it's kind of like originally I click, so it's become this surface. And then, and also when you do a surface, you can also check as always, yeah. What is the input? I'm not so sure about the input. Okay, and check the input SubD. And let's check, see the structure of the surface. Or maybe I use this. Yeah, okay, this is better. So this one, if you, I mean, this one is just like a polyline and then create a surface. This one is when you, this is just a flat surface. And then when you do it, you have some options, yeah? It's the basic Rhino skill still comes useful. So you can create X count and Y count. So far it's 4 by 4, but I can change it to 3 by 3, you know? So what's the difference? Okay, very soon you will see. Because then let's say what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some kind of a form. First, you need to select. The select is a little bit tricky in SubD. That's something that I really struggled a bit with because I see some people's lecture was very fast and I got lost. I don't understand what was going on. So what happened is I do not understand how to select. So here is how do you select. Always use shift and control. Okay, for example, here, some divisions. I want to select some control point. Okay, I think that one I can still turn on the control point. This one, no problem. And, you know, in case I'm going to drag it up. Okay, this one is already up. And then if I go back to my toggle, see, this surface is much more interesting than the NURB surface. Did you see it? Yeah, because it's a round shape. Okay. But what if I want to select just one of the little surface? You press on Shift and Control, and then you can select any of this. And then you would start to move this one, and then you press on Shift again. So this is a very easy extrusion. And then if you look at this, oh, it's kind of funny. Where is it? This one is extruding wrong direction. Okay, I rather extrude this one. Okay, shift and control. Okay, I'm going to move this one upwards and press on control so that you're adding another surface. That's a trick. Yeah, so you remember this. Okay, so you have to, let's say I'm moving, I'm making, continue to extrude. Yeah, so you first go to this. That's why you needed to use this. What is this called? This is called gumbo. Yeah, whatever that I'm highlighting, this is called gumbo. You will move and then press control and then you add another little surface. Yeah, and then you move. You have to move first. Okay, let me type in for you. And then very quickly you have, it's almost like a clay. You're forming the shape. Okay, so I'm going to. Okay, so that's one thing. You need to do this, and then move first. It's called move first, and then do control. Type in control. So to add more surface. So surfaces. You better know this. This is kind of like the magic. You have to first well, select. How do we select? Gumbo. Shift control. Yes. You know, if you don't know that, it's actually let me play with this one. Okay, I'm going to select. By the way, control point is easy to select, just the old way. But to select the surface is not easy, which I got lost every so often. Okay, so control shift. And now I want to, if you just move, then you're not adding more surface. You just keep moving. But if you want to add more surface, you move first, moving, and then you press on control. So you add another surface. And then, okay, I'm doing this one right here. Okay, shift under control. Okay, I'm moving forward and press on control. Yeah, and then I'm moving forward again and press on control. So I add one more section basically. I'm moving again and I'm adding a control. I'm adding more. So now, okay, let's select this surface, shift and control. I'm moving up and press on control. Okay, shift control, moving up, press on control. Oh, am I moving something different than I imagined? Okay, so, and then I'm going to shift and control, move this one forward. This is just moving, but by adding, you have to press on control. So you add, yeah? Okay, add more, move first, and then add, press on control, move first, and press on control. Okay, now, oh. No, not this one, this surface. Okay, now, okay, okay, and then, yeah. So now let's say I'm rotating the surface. By the way, all of this, your tool is still useful. Let's zoom extend. Okay. Let's say I'm going to, I'm going to rotate. Okay. You realize that you can actually rotate and you can actually scale. And this surface, let's say some surface you want to scale it. This one, yeah, the end surface, I'm going to make it bigger, yeah? So select, shift control. I'm shift control and then do a 2D scale. Wait, I'm probably using, actually, I think you don't really need the 2D scale. If you use gumbo, where is the, is this thing? Wait, one of them. This one is dragging bigger this direction. Okay, the red is dragging bigger this direction, and the green is just moving forward. And I believe this little handle right here is dragging. Well, if nothing else, I can go back and use my old Rhino way and then do a 2D scale to make it bigger. Yeah. And then if you do control, you might actually add another one. Did I add another shape? I don't know. Maybe I did. So if you want to add another shape, you should be able to, okay. What is this? Okay, I don't know. So, but there's a tool that's very interesting. So that's why I'm going to let you to go and play with it. I'm going to make this surface. Okay, shift control and just drag. This is enlarge. This is enlarge clearly. And this one is to rotate. And then this one is, okay, this one is moving, okay. So there's something interesting is called the bridge. Bridge in this tool, I think it's very interesting. Under SubD, okay, just remember, this is a whole set of new tools. Bridge means to bridging two things together. I'll show you the result of bridge. Where's the result? The result is here. The result is you connecting one to another. So for example, I have something here and then I have something here. You can somehow merging them into one. So let me try with this. I could fail. I plan to select this surface and select, wait, maybe I need to first select the bridge tool. Where is the bridge? Bridge is right here. No, wait. Bridge looks like a bridge. Yes, this. Okay, select the first set of edge or faces. Select this one and press enter when done. Select second set. So keep reading, yeah. Okay, press enter when done. So it is a bridging, but it's just a bit weird because they're not aligned, you know. It is a bridge. It's just because they're going two directions, and when you try to bridge them, it doesn't work. You may want to bring them close together and bridge them. So that's a bridging tool. You know, so if you diligently do something, and let me do this, and how do I bring them together? I think, you know, this surface may actually work as a bridging. I needed to extend a bit more. So move, press control, okay. And this tool, if I bridge, should work much more, you know, because they're facing each other. So let's try the bridge. Where's the bridge? Just remember this set of tools, yeah. Bridge, and select the first set, press shift and control, press enter when done. You know, any of the new tool, you have to be diligently looking at the, you know, looking at the command line. Press enter when done. This bridge is much more successful. Segment, you can add more segment of the bridging clearly, you know, just read. It's all in English, so we can read. Okay, straightness. More straight, less straight, and say okay. Okay, so here I bridged. Okay, and then select the surface, move a little bit, or moving up and press enter, moving up. You know, very quickly you have a cactus or something. Yeah, and moving. Yeah. Anyway, so what else? So that's this SubD. I actually let you to go and play with it. I have a tutorial. You can watch the tutorial, and let's see there. By the way, they're always, I mean, those tools, they look very familiar to you, right? Agree? And by the way, the trick about the SubD is you started from a very simple surface. You do not start with, for example, this, there's a create a 3 SubD surface, yeah? So the count is 2 and 2 and 2. None is actually good. Let's say if you set the count as 20, okay, that means 20 by 20 by 20, yeah? So each surface has 20, X and Y and Z. And then you actually will not have a lot of potential to start a more interesting form, because you add in with, you have with all of this. This is kind of like a box anyway, you know, unless you wanted, you know, unless I'm going to grow some kind of a, you know, okay, shift and control, I select this surface, and I select this, I select this, unless you want to do that. Otherwise, you already have too many, you know. You will not be able to deform as easily. So you may not want that many count. Oh, okay. So, and also, by the way, here is the toggle view. This is only changing the view, not changing the model. This is the street view. That what we did is this, yeah. This is actually the reality. This is just a smooth, yeah, smooth view. But with this smooth view, look at this. This is a smooth view of something I just did last night. And then, you know, but you can actually use the contour and all of that and do whatever the old stuff that you understand how to do. You know, this is a contour of this shape. Yeah, this is just a contour. So if I do this contour, I can somehow slice it. Where is it? Right here. Okay, so if I, for example, then you have to go back to your old setup too. So you're switching between panels. You realize when you click on SubD, all of this is different, you know, all of this is showing a different set of 2, right? And then you can go back and go here. And then you have your other tools coming back. So you kind of need to relearn a bit of the interface. Yeah, so if I want to do my slicing, I'll use my contour. I'll select this one, press enter, and I'll set the distance for slicing. Or I would just first set a direction of slicing. No, I will slice this way. The distance is 20, which I know is right because I tested this dimension is about a meter. In terms of it's 1,000. Yeah. So I slice. So yeah, so this is a lot, you know, sometimes if you're not slicing because you're slicing not according to the size, you have something like this tiny, and then you slice, you're using this distance to slice, you will not slice anything, right? Because it's, you know, so you need to understand the dimension and all of that. And this is a different slicing in a way, and then move, create something. And yeah, so that's basically it.